close that door.
Okay.
3, 2.
Nah, leave it open. There's always room for more.
Hey, peace, and welcome back to the Divinity Podcast. I am your host, Divinity, the Pod MC, and this is episode 22. Now, I entitled it "To End is to Begin Again" because it is the season finale, and this is the very last episode of this season, and we're going to recap on all the other episodes, and I might drop a few gems in this one for y'all too. Depends on how I'm feeling, So, let's get right into it, right? So, we started off this season with a whole fresh outlook, right? The intro was different. We kept some parts of the season 1 from that. The music was in the backdrop, the intro, but we added some flavor to it. We didn't want to hold on, leave it open, leave that door open, because there's always room for more. Allow yourself, when you pour out, allow yourself to have more room. That gives you more room for new things, right? So we started off with a new season, and the episode entitled Take Off was basically in reference to you kind of being on a plane, and when you take off, you're going to a destination, and you coast until you get to that destination, right? And also I talked about how when you're trying to take off and do new things, explore new avenues, adventure out, build something for yourself, you have people behind you talking crazy, talking shit, telling you can't do it, telling you you'll never amount to anything, telling you, oh, your stuff is corny, nobody wants to hear that. They're in the perfect position already because they're already behind you. So they're in the perfect position to kiss your ass. Right? So that's episode 1, Take Off. Thank y'all for coming with me on this journey. Now, we're going to go right into episode 2, entitled Too Far Under the Rug. Now, that episode, we discussed molestation within the Black community and how oftentimes when children or, adults or teenagers try to speak up and say what a family member did to them or what someone, a part of the community, did to them, it's often swept under the rug. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's that elephant in the room, although I love elephants. They're so cute. It's that elephant in the room, something standing out. You sweep so much stuff under the rug, it creates a lump. Now it's just looking stupid, so now you have to address it, right? We also talked about how knowing your kids, knowing their feelings, knowing their emotions, their behavior when they get around certain people. Are you aware of those things? Because that energy doesn't lie. How your kid acts around somebody. Right? Now, fast forward, season 2, episode 3, entitled Omni Trium Perfectum. We talked about how good things come in threes. I also gave you 3 topics, right? So I said, you want to pray or manifest the things that you want, right? So that's the first step, right? Then the second step is to put a plan of action. And the third was to ask yourself, are you prepared for the things that you are asking for? Are you prepared for that house that you want? Are you prepared for that car you want? Because you could drive around in your hoopty and you don't even take care of your hoopty. That gets you from A and B, grateful as hell for it. Are you really? Because if you're not taking care of it, how do you want that Maybach? How do you want that Aston Martin, that Maserati, vroom, skirt, when you can't even take care of the things that you already have? So when you ask for these things, ask that you are prepared. Prepare me. Help me be prepared for the financial abundance. Because if you can't even manage money, you will go right back to being broke. Like a joke. And I don't see nothing funny. Oh, come here, honey. Now, episode 4, For What It's Worth. It's entitled For What It's Worth. Come on, man. Y'all some tough critics. Give me my wordplay. Stop playing with me, yo. Give me my respect. For What It's Worth is the episode we discussed. Now, once you bring those things into fruition, you manifesting these things, right? How much is your soul worth? How much is that integrity? How much does it take for you to lose integrity? They telling you want to be in this video, but you got to take off that bra and them panties and get completely naked. drop to your knees. Do something for me. And how would you feel if you walk into a meeting, you looking all good with your gray sweatsuit on? You know I love gray sweatpants. Ooh, giggity. And they ask you and tell you, well, when you go on stage, you got to kiss another man in the mouth. But that's not what you're into, because some people are, and that's fine. Are you willing to trade your integrity for that contract? For that dollar? Make you a millionaire? All you gotta do is, come here, I got a proposition for you. You see that guy over there? I don't like him. If you take him out, I'll give you $1 million cash. But wait, no, that's my friend. I can't do that. What you gonna do? I'm gonna make you a millionaire. Your rent past due, your lights about to be cut off. What I say, mama need a car, daddy gotta pay the rent. My sister got 4 kids. So what I'm gonna do? Everybody leaning on Ronnie. Ooh, yeah. So for what it's worth, what is your soul worth? Now we're moving right along to episode 5. There's still something about thee. That is the episode that I dedicated to me, the dreamer, the believer. Because for me, a long time I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe that I can achieve my dreams. Because life has a way of beating you down. But now that I'm old enough to make my dreams come true, I believe in myself. I'm still beautiful. I'm confident. I'm doing this thing behind this mic for y'all. I do it because I love it. I don't get any money for this. I do it because I love it. Maybe one day I will. Do the things that you love and it'll start to feed you, right? So in that episode, I talk about how my only competition is me. When I get up in the morning and I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, ooh, you so pretty. What we gonna do today? How we gonna set the bar today? How we gonna go over that bar today? And I found myself doing more of these things because I meditate and I concentrate on things that make me happy. I cross me off of my to-do list. Very important. Now, fast forward to episode 6, entitled Mark of the Beast. We discussed in that episode how the mark of the beast, they try to play on words because the mark of the beast is 666. And the makeup of the human body for Black people is 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, which give you the makeup of your melanin from your head to your toe. And how, you're labeled as a beast. They want to see you as a devil. You can never achieve anything. They put you down. But you are the construct of the universe. So if you're going to be a beast at everything that you want to go after. You want to go after your dreams and build a house. You want to go after your dreams and pursue your own business, build your own business, become an entrepreneur, real estate, whatever it is. You can achieve it because you are the beast. Marked from head to toe, and that's all right. Words are very important. Now, episode 7, entitled Kakashi Hatake, hey, which is one of my favorite characters from an anime that I watch. Ahoy, ahoy, Naruto. Name of that song is Bluebird, by the way. Kakashi Hatake is the episode where we talked about, are we paying for sins of the father? Or mother, however you want to put it. We talked about how Kakashi was living in the shadow of his father. His father was shunned from the village, but he did what was right. He had the choice to complete a mission or save everybody, save his comrades. Save his comrades, and he chose to save his comrades. So when he got back to the village, they painted him the hero. Oh, he saved my life. But then when the mission wasn't complete and something happened, they banned him from the village. And I don't want to get into what happens to him because if you want to watch it, I think it's a dope anime. It's super dope. I love Naruto. And then I get into the point of asking you, are you paying for your father's sins, your parents' sins? Because if you keep living in the shadow, you keep doing things that they want you to do, are you pursuing who you are? Are you really being who you are, or are you being who they want you to be? And are you allowing others to constantly tell you that, oh, you just like your father, you just like your mother, you just like this? Or are you building your own, making your own lane? Skirt, switch it. Now, episode 8, entitled Appreciate, is the episode where I ask if you are grateful for the things that you possess now. I ask you, do you appreciate the people that really push you in your life? Do you appreciate the fact that you have a roof over your head, clothes on your back, food in your stomach, in the kitchen with the whippet, with the stir fry? Because that can all be taken away so easily. Are you appreciative of your life? The very breath that you take, your well-being. So that episode was pretty much self-explanatory. And we also get into the fact that sometimes we go astray. We don't really know what it is that we should be doing, but we are present. We are grateful. We are in the moments of life that have gotten us where we needed to be. We appreciate those wrong turns. We appreciate those wrong people because they helped us realize that this is where I need to be now. So grateful, so very grateful. Now fast forward, episode 9, entitled Mirror, Mirror, Reloaded. Hey, baby. That was the episode with my son and I. We gave you a recap, or we came back and told you what happened within that year, how he's grown into such an incredible young king. He's so beautiful, y'all. That is my buddy. That is my partner in crime, in life, and everything that we love. We talk about friendship. We talk about having open and honest conversations with children. How does that go? We talked about bullies, sports, all that good stuff that comes along with being a teenager. He didn't want to get into the BJBs. And if you don't know what a BJB is, baby, you better tell them it's a big juicy booty. So shout out to you, baby. I love you. Thank you for being my backbone. Thank you for always believing in me. Thank you for always having my back on the days where I felt like I couldn't go on anymore. It's because of you that I do this thing called life. I love you. I love you. Now, episode 10, Attention Addicted, Intention Conflicted. Is the episode where we talked about, how people got to put on for social media because they're lacking attention home. They need that validation from online, strangers online, people that they barely even know. And how you putting on for social media, putting all your business out there can cause a backfire, right? You posting a photo of where you at, tagging the place where you're currently at, and wonder why kidnapping amongst people is a very high thing right now. People are going missing. And I'm not blaming all of that on them, but some of those cases, y'all set yourself up. Everybody in your business. Oh, such and such is dating such and such, is engaged to such and such, is marrying such and such. And then when it don't work out and people ask you a simple question because they want to know, inquiring minds want to know, like, oh, what happened to y'all? How's the wedding? How was the wedding? How's the marriage going? Oh, when did you have the baby? Now you done miscarried. And now you got to explain because you put all that on social media. Why you don't have a baby? Why you're not married anymore? Why you're not engaged anymore? And there's nothing wrong with doting on your partner. Don't get me wrong. But that's why the episode is entitled Attention Addicted, Intention Afflicted. Because your intentions, for some, may be pure, it may be genuine. But for most, not all, most, that attention is like adrenaline. You get high off that. You're addicted to it, right? So now we started off the new year with episode 11, That's with my brick brother Bubba Almighty. That was entitled Big Homie Loyalty because part 2, we wanted to get into loyalty, although we kind of drifted off because that's just what it is. It's a good time anytime my brother steps into the building. Pre-pandemic, y'all, pre-pandemic. And we talked about life. We talked about loved ones. We talked about death. We talked about a little bit about politics. And I thank you, brother, for always being by my side when I feel some type of weird way about an episode. You give me your honest opinion about it, and I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for being on the episode with us. Thank you for coming and gracing us with your presence. We love you. And we dedicated that episode to Grandma Annie. I think I'm going to sip a Pepsi tonight. I'm not supposed to, but I might sip a Pepsi for you. Now, episode 12, entitled One Time Too Many. Ooh-wee. We talked about how it's one time too many where we allow others to deceive us. We allow them to lie to us, and we just keep giving them chance after chance. One time too many. One time too many, you have people telling you that you can't be an engineer because you're a female. You can't be an MC because you're a female. Just giving y'all little examples of what I hear around me. One time too many, somebody told you couldn't start that business. One time too many, somebody told you that you would never fall in love. One time too many, somebody told you that you weren't good enough to even live. And it's so funny that those same people that are telling you these things one time too many are just simply reflecting their insecurities. They're simply reflecting their inability to get things done. So they're upset with you because you're doing the very same thing that they want to do. They just didn't know how. So one time too many, do you allow people to discourage you from chasing that dream? It's never too late. It's never too late. Hell, Ava DuVernay was 32 years old when she picked up a camera. 32, y'all. 32. And look where Ava DuVernay is now. So that goes to show you that no matter what people are saying, one time too many, you can get up, get back up again, get back up again. Fall down 7, get up 8. Come on now. Episode 13, entitled PG-13. We dedicated that episode to the late, great Hall of Famer Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace, Kobe. And we also talked about how when kids are 13 years old, are you having these conversations about sex with them? What happens when your 13-year-old comes to you and tells you that they don't identify with being a boy or they don't identify with being a girl? Do you dismiss them? When they come to you and tell you, well, Dad, I know I'm a girl, but I like girls and boys, so I don't really know how I fit in. Or when your son comes to you and tells you, hey, listen, Mom, Dad, I like boys. Are you ready to have those conversations? Because oftentimes you're told to, no, that's the devil. It's a sin. That can't be right. You don't even understand who you are right now. Do you totally dismiss that child and their feelings instead of talking about it? Or saying, come on, let's sit and pray about it. Totally dismissing that. Failing to realize that because they have to hide who they are screaming, they are depressed, they are screaming for help, screaming for help. You wondering why they're taking that shower extra long. What happens when your son or daughter comes to you and tells you, I'm ready to have sex? And let's not get it twisted because some of y'all really have it misconstrued. See, it's okay to talk to your 13-year-old son. You be high-fiving him when he gets some booty. But when your 13-year-old daughter comes to you and says, I'm ready to have sex, it's a problem. Same age. They're the same age. And it shouldn't make a difference. 13 is 13 is 13 is 13. Whether it's a boy or a girl. How dare you high-five the boy and discourage the little girl or penalize her or punish her. So that's what we talked about in episode 13. Moving right along, episode 14. Ooh. That episode for me was one of the greatest episodes because I am one for respect. That's the title, by the way. I did that episode because I was going through a personal experience myself, right? Because I give respect, but I have to also realize that because I expect that from people doesn't mean it's going to happen. And when you expect things, you're disappointed, right? And how you can see so much potential in somebody. So much potential in somebody that you believe in them, but they just shut you out. Tell you crazy. Tell you you're pressuring them, or don't tell you that you're pressuring them. Heard it through the grapevine, tweet about it. And that's okay. Because you are one for respect, accountability. Accountability, that is your job as a good friend, to help others become conscious of the things that they don't see, whether it's out in the world or within themselves. You need to work on that. That's what a good friend would do. Someone who truly loves you, someone who wants to see you doing better, someone that wants to see you grow. One for respect. We also talked about how today, back in the day, we were told to respect our elders. And how one day I went to go pick up my shorty from school. And all I hear is the kids cursing and cursing at the adults. And I'm like, oh my God, like the disrespect. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I understand. I overstand how some of these teachers don't care about our babies, y'all. They don't care about our babies. Principals too. However, there should just be a code of honor. That person is coming and teaching your child. That person is with your child more than you are. Back then anyway, pre-pandemic. So one for respect, right? Because when you respect yourself and when you're honest with yourself, that sets the tone for every relationship that you will be in, that you will have around you. Because what you will tolerate, what you won't tolerate, it won't happen. And people will address you a different way. And one for respect also means that you can educate me. Don't belittle me. Because it was one time where you didn't know what you knew. Watch your tone when you're talking to me. There's a difference. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So I'm one for respect. I never like to belittle anybody. I never like to make anybody feel like their sayings or their beliefs or whatever it is that we can agree to disagree on is less than what I would have or what I believe in. Equals, duality. We don't always have to agree on everything, but there's respect. That's the line. Once that's crossed, there's a problem. And sometimes people won't have that same respect for you, and that's why you gotta keep going. Gotta keep going. Gotta keep going. Yeah. So, moving right along, episode 15, a quarter to right. Because we said in season 1, episode 15, we were a quarter past. We were past, a quarter past full. So now we're a quarter to right. 15 minutes early, arriving 15 minutes early for ourselves. So often we put work in front of us. We put school in front of us. We do everything we're supposed to do for everybody and everything else but ourselves. And we always show up late. Well, no more. We are a quarter to right. So what? You used to be a drug dealer. You took those skills and now you are a multi-property manager. CEO, as a matter of fact. So what? You were an alcoholic. You are done with that. And it's okay if you advocate against alcoholism because you know what it did to you. So what? You were a drug addict. So what? You were a stripper. So what? You were whatever it is that people made you feel less than yourself. So what? That is the past. You are a quarter to right now. You're in the right moment. You're there on time because you're showing up on time for yourself. And let me be clear. See, when you arrive on time to an interview, you're technically late. But if you get there 15 minutes early, you're on time. So if you're showing up for an interview, you putting on your best clothes, you got your resume all spiffed up, got the briefcase looking all good, got your pocketbook or whatever it is that you wearing for that interview. Why can't you do that for yourself? Draw yourself a bubble bath. Draw yourself a candlelit dinner. Put some oldies but goodies on. Put some Sade on. Put some whatever it is. Put some Teddy P on. Close the door. Let me give you what you've been looking for. Put some music on. Put some Marvin Gaye, Sexual. And treat yourself like that. Show up to the interview for yourself on time and correct. And I guarantee you'll eliminate a whole bunch of other stuff, right? Now, episode 16, entitled Article 16, was based off of the law that was constituted that said every person had the right to marry who they wanted to marry, whether it was man and woman, woman and woman, man and man. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And how, parents, the LGBTQ community, there is a whole array of topics I can base off of that. But to me, you should be able to love who you want to love freely without forcing that on somebody else, because you can be you. I tell you this all the time. Around me, this is a safe space. You are free to be you. Whoever you love, I love. And knowing the difference between supporting someone, because you can always support someone without agreeing to their ideals or subscribing to their lifestyle. Article 16, realizing we base that off of that article. And also, we use the song, Therefore the grace of God, there go I, judging eyes. But therefore, by the grace of God, there go I, because that can be you in a second. You judging these people for who they love. Stop judging people. Because when you pointing that one finger, you forget you got your thumb, your middle, your ring, and your pinky pointing right back at you. That's 4. 4 fingers pointing right back at you, and you making fun of everything else. With no blacks, no Jews, and no gays. Episode 16, y'all. That's a very heavy episode for me because, I'm still learning to love. We discussed that in this women's group I have. It's so dope. About how, we might not have gotten love right the first time, but we're still learning to love, right? And it's okay to be you. It's okay to understand that people won't understand you, but you have to keep going. You fight for yourself, because when you fight for yourself, that means you are living your life like it's golden. And I love y'all, man. But I digress from that. So, episode 17, entitled VIXI, is the episode that stands for I lived, right? Because normally it's VXII, right? But because in Italian and Greece culture, they anagrammatically changed it to VIXI, which transcribed into I've lived. I talked about moments where, I catch myself, being caught up in fish bait, right? That's when somebody throws out the bait after you just had a conversation with them, and now they posting it on social media and expect you not to respond to that. And then when you ask them about it, it's a general statement. I've lived, because I've been into that too. I've lived where, you fall out with people, right? So you try to reach out to them. You don't know what's going on. You try to reach out to them. They don't reach it back out to you. So you're wondering well, what's going on? So you well, dang, I ain't getting no response. Let me check their social media. And boom, lo and behold, oh, it's a miracle. They're alive. They just don't want to talk to you. And that's fine. Because that's what happens, right? We got so used to ghosting people. We got so used to disappearing messages, right? We don't even know how to communicate and be real. Somebody told me that ghosting is a cowardice act. I agree, but I I digress from that. So VIXI, I've lived. So understanding that there are games that people are playing to fish bait you into their deception, fish bait you into their on their hook, and then want to play stupid when you address it or when you bring it to their attention. And nobody's perfect. I'm far from it. But I can own up. It's the accountability that I hold to myself. It's me owning up to the things and the bullshit that I can call myself out on. Excuse me. Now, fast forward, episode 18, entitled Infinitely Designed, Part 2. Ooh, That was the episode I dedicated to all black men across the diaspora, all over the world. You black, Nubian, sexy, God's you. To the baldest of balds, to the cornrolliest of cornrows, to the froest of froes. You are sexy. Sexy, can I just pardon my manners? Oh, wear gray sweatpants. But I digress. In that episode, we talked about the black man and how we wanted to uplift you. We compared you to ancestors like Mansa Musa and how he took those gold bricks and made a huge empire, one of the richest men to ever walk the earth. And I compared it to an unfortunate situation. Mansa Musa gold bricks compared to the bricks you had to work with. Some of y'all ain't get that. You missed it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Lights on. I also compared you to Malcolm X, who asked you, who taught you to hate your black skin? Why aren't you protecting the black woman? Taught you to love your family, build your own. Stop begging to be a part of their stuff and build your own. We also compared you to one of the greatest to ever do it, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Created the UNIA. Created the Black Star Line, created a magazine, and even he knew the power of Africa because he said, I am Jamaican, from Jamaica, but why would I claim Jamaica when I can claim a whole continent of Africa? He also gave us the RBG flag, red for the blood of your ancestors that was shed. B for your black skin. Black, my skin so black. Black rims and these black Tims and these black. And the green for the soils, the green grasslands of Africa. If you know who you are, if you study your history, then you can never be lost. But if you take history out of a person, out of a people, they will be lost. So black man, this episode was to uplift you and let you know that this black woman loves you. We also talked about the warrior and Shaka Zulu that I see in you. It's not all of you that are thugs. It's not all of you that are ghetto, because somehow that equates black. But when I look at you, I see essence. I see regalness. I see royalty. I see brilliance. I see resilience. You sexy thing, you. So black man, this is for you, infinitely designed. That episode is for you. You feeling down, go listen to it. Episode 19, Quarantine COVID-19, is addressing the situation, the pandemic that we are in. Being in quarantine, how are you feeling? Are you abiding by the rules? Are you staying in to save yourself and keep yourself healthy? Or are you one of those that's on the other side of the coin? You don't think this thing is serious at all, so you go out, you do your regular stuff, and you cool with it. But I posed the question in that episode, what is it about yourself that you can't even sit with yourself, by yourself, inside closed quarters, inside closed doors? Are you running from something? Also telling you to take precautions. Wear your mask, wear your gloves. If that's what you need to do to survive, cool. Episode 20, y'all. This is one of my favorite episodes because I had fun making that episode. Episode 20, entitled The Glove, was the episode that we dedicated to Hall of Famer Gary Payton. And we said sometimes it takes a Gary Payton to bring the best out of you, to bring that Mike Jordan out of you. I am the Mike Jordan of recording. And in that episode, we talked about how, sometimes we become defensive, right? When someone is trying to make us better, when someone is trying to challenge us to do better, be better. All along, their defense that they're playing around that you can't get around, you can't make an excuse for, you can't outthink, is challenging you, holding you accountable to be the very best version of yourself. Also, we talked about how the glove, Mr. Gary Payton, we was watching the last dance, and how he played against Michael Jordan, and Michael couldn't score. He just couldn't get around Gary. But that very next game, he came back. It was on. He was on fire. So sometimes it takes a Gary Payton to bring the Mike Jordan out of you. Not to take away from either one of their abilities to say one is better than the other. Because we all need Gary Paytons. We all need Gary Paytons to get to that 3-time champion Chicago Bulls in a row, 90s. And when you have people that's digging in that ass, digging at you, telling, come on, you could do it, and you want to give up, looks like you're stuck. They grab you by the hand and say, let's grow together. That's the plan, man. So sometimes it takes that defense, right? That gut-wrenching defense. You can't make a shot. You can't get around it. Because it's always going to be, you're going to hit that brick wall until life is going to keep giving you the lesson over and over again until you get it right. Now, fast forward, episode 21, entitled Too Much at One Time, is the episode where I discuss how, as Black people, we are not only fighting COVID-19, trying to stay safe in COVID-19 and the anxiety that comes with that, but now we're waking up every day. There's a new Black body falling. A man was lynched. Had a cop, a knee in his neck, killed that man, murdered that man, was laying there on that man's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Had the police run up in somebody, no knock warrant, run up in somebody's house, Breonna Taylor, say her name. Killed her while she was in the bed sleep. Ahmaud Arbery, running and jogging, minding his own beautiful black man business, running and jogging, keeping himself in shape, was hunted down like an animal. Caught on film. So now we're addressing the racial climate in America. And we talk about the violent history of the United States against Black people, how they bombed Tulsa, how they got rid of Rosewood, how they got rid of the Philly movement, how they came into Newark with the Newark riots. And I understand how that might be when you're in a corporate setting. You got all these corporate companies coming out writing letters that they want diversity and inclusion, but not one Black person's on that team. Not one person of color, and let's not get it mixed up because they are not the same thing. That's first. And I'm often hearing the this is uncomfortable to talk about. It's not uncomfortable for me. Who is it uncomfortable for? Because it's not uncomfortable for me. This is my life. Nothing about my life is uncomfortable. I live in my Black skin. I bask in it. I fight the good fight every day. But this is about equality. And you're lucky, like Sister Kimberly said, you're lucky all Black people want is equality and not revenge, because we have every right to get that. So this is the last episode, everybody. I want to thank you. Because it is because of you that I sit behind this mic. Also because of myself, but when I see you, I see me. Those things about reflections, they say a lot. I believe in you. I love you, and know that you can be anything that you want to be as long as you put the hard work into it. It doesn't matter. I used to focus on the numbers like, oh, nobody's listening. I don't give a fuck no more. I do this because I love it. I do this because this is what brought me my tribe of beautiful Black women who love me for me. This is who brought me a tribe of people who love me for me, and I'm around people that think like me, also don't think like me, but they challenge me to grow every day, and I love it. This journey has challenged me to grow every day, and I love it. And if I love myself, it's only right that I try to get you to love yourself. It's a real good feeling when I get behind this mic and I call myself the Pod MC. Because I do this, I love hip hop. Rakim called himself the God MC, so I'm the Pod MC. I got a podcast, and this podcast is about self-love. This podcast is about self-love. This podcast is about self-love, my journey of self-love. And I'm repeating this because I want you to understand the word self and the word love, because without it, there's nothing. You'll continue to be miserable. You'll continue to be depressed, anxiety-ridden, panic attacks all over until you understand what it's like to love yourself. Love thyself. Continue to seek knowledge. It's always in a book. I love you, man. I'll talk to you next season. Season 3, we up. Third time's the charm, baby. That's going to be my Allen Iverson season. Yeah. Now, for this whole 22 episodes, my job has been to feed you. And how you digest it, you should know by now, that's personal. But as for me and as for mines, man, it's always forward. Forward always. I love y'all, man. Peace. Until next season. I gotta keep going. Gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. Yeah. But before I go, let me just say this. I love you. And I forgive anybody or anything that has tried to come against me, but no weapon formed against me shall prosper. That's just been the spirit that's been talking to me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Facts are facts. Facts are facts. The truth will always prevail. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. I love you, and I gotta get out of here. We got a trip to take. I love you. I love you. Peace.